Picture this. Three heavyweight champs walk into a diplomatic ring: Iran, Russia, and China. It's like the ultimate showdown of the century, with more twists and turns than a telenovela. Get ready to witness the drama, the tension, and maybe even a little international bromance. Welcome to the world of international relations, baby. Buckle up, because we're diving into a love triangle that's as complex as it is global. This isn't your typical high school drama, nope. It's the intricate dance between Iran, China, and Russia. They're like the it crowd of geopolitics, sharing glances across the classroom, passing secret notes in the hallway, making alliances, breaking them, and keeping the rest of us on our toes. Why should you care? Well, understanding this trio's dynamic is crucial in today's world. It's like decoding the secret language of power and influence. If this doesn't sound like an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I don't know what does. And hey, don't forget to smash that like button. Drop a comment if you've ever been in a love triangle, and subscribe if you're not a fan of international drama. So, let's start with the bromance of the century, China and Russia. These two have a history that's as complex as a plate of spaghetti, but we'll try to untangle it for you. Think back to high school. China and Russia are like the two popular kids who always hang out together. They've had their fair share of squabbles, sure, but at the end of the day, they're inseparable. Why, you ask? Well, they've got a few things in common. First off, they're both huge. And I mean in terms of land area and population. Secondly, they've got a mutual dislike for a certain someone. Let's call him Uncle Sam. And thirdly, they've got a shared love for power and control. Now, let's talk economics. Russia's got a ton of natural resources, and China's got a massive appetite for them. It's like if one friend always had a stash of candy and the other was always hungry. It's a match made in heaven, or in this case, economics. But it's not just about resources. China and Russia have been playing footsie in the political arena as well. They've got a common goal: to challenge the global order that's been dominated by you-know-who. And they're not afraid to flex their muscles to do it. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There have been tensions. Remember the border clashes in the 60s? Or Russia's unease at China's growing global influence? Yet, despite these hiccups, they've managed to stick together. So in the end, China and Russia are like those two friends who always have each other's back, no matter how many times they fight over the last slice of pizza. Their relationship is a mix of shared interests, strategic alliances, and a dash of rivalry. But one thing's for sure, it's one bromance that's here to stay. Now let's throw Iran into the mix and things get really spicy. Picture a Persian cat, sleek and smart, but always getting its paws into everything. That's Iran, right there in the center of this global love triangle, making things a whole lot more interesting. Iran's position in this geopolitical landscape is like a chess piece strategically placed on the board. It's a crucial player, with its rich oil reserves and its location bridging the east and the west. It's like that one friend who owns the only beach house. You want to stay in their good graces because, well, you love the beach. China and Russia are both drawn to Iran for these reasons. China, with its insatiable appetite for energy resources, sees Iran as a buffet table of oil and gas. It's like that friend who can't resist an all-you-can-eat sushi bar. Russia, on the other hand, finds a kindred spirit in Iran, sharing a common distrust of Western influence. It's as if they were a pair of buddies, bonding over their shared love for indie rock while everyone else is jamming to pop. But it's not all just about resources and shared interests. Iran also serves as a counterbalance in the region, a way for both China and Russia to keep things in check. It's like having a friend who's an expert in martial arts. You know you've got backup if things get rowdy. But here's the thing, even with all these shared interests and strategic benefits, the relationship between Iran, China, and Russia isn't always smooth sailing. There are differences and disagreements, just like any friendship. But at the end of the day, they've got more in common than not, and that's what keeps them glued together. So, Iran is like that friend who always manages to get in the middle of everything, but you can't help but love them anyway. Beneath the surface of their strategic alignment, there are tensions and rivalries brewing among Iran, Russia, and China. Iran, for instance, tries to juggle its connections with both Russia and China to avoid relying too heavily on just one. Meanwhile, Russia and China, while teaming up with Iran on some fronts, have their own game plans in the region. Russia's a bit wary of China's expanding influence in Central Asia, and China keeps an eye on Russia's tight bonds with India and its historical clout in the area. Plus, their different interests and priorities often spark friction and competition, especially in stuff like energy markets, selling weapons, and gaining sway in the region. Sometimes Russia and Iran clash over how much to charge for oil and gas, and China's investments in Iran might shake up Russia's hold on certain parts of Iran's economy. So, basically, it's like a complicated geopolitical tango, where these countries are both partners and rivals, each trying to play to their own strengths while dealing with the ever-changing global scene. Now it's time to gaze into our crystal ball and see what the future holds for this tricky triangle. So let's dive into the deep end. The future of the geopolitical love triangle between Iran, China, and Russia is as unpredictable as the weather. But hey, we can always speculate, right? First off, let's talk about China. The dragon is always on the move, looking to expand its influence and power. With its Belt and Road Initiative, there's a good chance that China's economic ties with both Russia and Iran will continue to strengthen. But remember, China's a smart player. They'll try to keep the balance, not wanting to upset the apple cart too much. Now, on to Russia, the bear of the East. Russia's main focus would probably be to maintain its political and military clout. With China and Iran as allies, Russia could potentially counterbalance Western dominance. But it's not all a bed of roses. There might be some tension brewing under the surface, especially with China's growing power. And finally, we come to Iran, the Persian cat in the middle. Iran's future is a bit of a wild card. With sanctions and international pressure, Iran might lean more towards its eastern allies. But let's not forget, Iran's got its own agenda and won't just blindly follow the lead. So what's the verdict? Well, it's tricky. The future of this geopolitical triangle could go many ways. It could be a harmonious trio singing Kumbaya around the fire, or it could be a tense standoff, each waiting for the other to blink first. But one thing's for sure, this isn't a Hollywood movie with a clear-cut ending. It's more like a season finale that leaves you on a cliffhanger, making you desperate for the next season. And there you have it, folks, the world's most complicated love triangle explained. Remember, in geopolitics, as in life, it's always complicated, but hey, that's what keeps things interesting, right?